is Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with a fun tag video and I'm really excited. So my friend Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book came up with this tag and it is the Fave Festive Family Films book tag. And I am so excited because there are so many good festive films for the prompts. So let's just jump in. The first is Elf. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. What is a book that makes you smile? The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. That book is like a hug in book form. And it kind of reminds me like of Olaf, like I like warm hugs. It's one of those books that's just genuinely wholesome and I want everyone to read it. And I just think the characters are just so charming. The way he wrote it is really endearing and it makes me smile. Next is The Muppet Christmas Carol. A blue furry Charles Dickens who hangs out with a rat. Charles Dickens was a 19th century novelist. What's one of your favorite adaptations or retellings of a story? This could be a book-to-movie adaptation, a fairy tale retelling, etc. First of all, I loved A Muppet Christmas Carol growing up. I watched that every single year and throughout the year. Honestly, my favorite adaptation is Lord of the Rings. And I have been on such a Lord of the Rings loop right now. I'm reading through the trilogy and then I've watched the movies probably 10 times in the last month and a half. That's genuinely one of my favorite book to movie adaptations. I think they did an excellent job and I know it's not a perfect adaptation of it. I know they left out characters like Tom Bombadil and things like that. But I think in the grand scheme of things, especially compared to the pile of garbage that is the Hobbit trilogy, I think they did a really fantastic job with Lord of the Rings. And I thought it was very well cast. And I really loved the way they filmed it. So that's my answer. Next is The Grinch. You're a 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. Who is one of your favorite book villains? I'm going to go with the Lord Ruler from the Mistborn trilogy. And I won't go too into detail because of spoilers, but I liked him as a villain because in the beginning, it's set in a world where he won, the bad guy won, and throughout the trilogy, we really learn about his journey to victory and his motivation for doing the things he's done. And even though he is a terrible person and he does terrible things, when you find out the motivation and the history behind his victory, it's really good. So I think he's my favorite because he's very complex. Next is SpongeBob Christmas Special. This Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me. What was one of the first books you read in one of your favorite genres? So I'm gonna do 2 answers for this because I want to. So, one of my favorite genres is mystery, and particularly cozy mysteries. And some of the first mysteries I read were Nancy Drew mysteries. Like, I own the original 56 plus a bunch of the ones that came after, and I still reread those books because I just love them so much. And they're so nostalgic to me, and I still have some of the books that were my mom's, which is really cool. The other one in fantasy or classics is The Hobbit. My dad and I were close and we bonded over The Hobbit. And even though I know that book does have its flaws, it's such a special book to me, especially now that my dad isn't here anymore. And that's just one book where every time I read it, I just have great memories. And it's one that I will continue to reread. Next is A Christmas Story, a major award. Name a book you love that has won an award. Hugo Awards, Locus Awards, Pulitzer Prize. So the book I'm going to pick is Jade City by Fonda Lee. World Fantasy Award, Aurora Award, Nebula Award finalist, Locus Award finalist, Audio Award finalist, and the list goes on and on. And Jade City was such a cool book. I absolutely adore it, and you should go read it. Next is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Jelly of the Month Club. What's a book you were excited to read that turned out to be a disappointment? To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. Biggest disappointment ever, and I'm still angry about it. Next is Bad Santa, Should I Fix You Some Sandwiches? Name a character who's optimistic or wants to help others. I'm going to pick Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings, the real hero of that trilogy. He is optimistic. He always tries to find the bright side of things. And he's there to help Frodo and help him succeed. And he is wonderful. Next is the Santa Claus. Seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. What is something from a book that you wish were real? Ooh. That is really hard. There are so many things. Honestly, this is kind of a cop-out answer because I'm grouping a lot of stuff together. But I wish the magic systems from Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere were real. Like Stormlight and Allomancy and Ferrochemy and all of that stuff I think would be so cool if it were real. And it would be super handy dandy. Next is The Nightmare Before Christmas. There's frost on every window. Oh, I can't believe my eyes. And in my bones I feel the warmth that's coming from inside. What's a book that's perfect to read in winter? A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I reread that every single year and I still absolutely adore it. There's just something wonderful about it. And it still has such a good message. And if you want something more contemporary, because I know not everyone is a fan of Dickens, The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand is a really, really good contemporary version of that. First of all, it's got a female protagonist, and it's got the bones of A Christmas Carol, but it kind of flips it on its head, and has such a good storyline, and it is entertaining. And I've read that the past 2 years. I don't know if I'll get to it this year, but I've read it multiple times and I still adore it. Next is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Didn't I ever tell you about Bumbles? Bumbles bounce. What's one of your favorite creatures from a book? I want Theodore, the wyvern from The House in the Cerulean Sea. He was the most adorable little creature and the sweetest, and I want him in real life. I think that would be so fun. A bonus question, what is your favorite Christmas or holiday movie? So I have two. The first is Scrooge, the version with Albert Finney. I adore it, and it's a musical, and it's really fun, and Albert Finney did such a wonderful job at playing Ebenezer Scrooge. And the other one is White Christmas. I just think it's such a beautiful movie, and I love the music, and it's very cozy, and again, it's nostalgic. I grew up watching Scrooge and White Christmas with my parents, and it's something that we would watch every year, and they're always gonna be my favorites. Do you have a favorite or just recommended book to read around Christmas or the holidays? A Christmas Carol. And I also really just love cozy mysteries that are set in December. I just read one, The 12 Sleighs of Christmas by Jacqueline Frost, who also writes as Brie Baker and Julianne Lindsay. And it's set on a Christmas tree farm. And cozy mysteries are just cozy and fun and just a light, nice read, even though there's murder. So, tagging people. Kayla and I follow a lot of the same people. So I think she's tagged pretty much everyone that I would tag, which is totally fine. So I'll just do the cop-out and say, if you want to do this tag, please consider yourself tagged. Please let me know and Kayla know if you do this tag. We'd both love to see your answers. If you've gotten this far in the video, please let me know in the comments what your favorite Christmas movie is and what your favorite Christmas book is. Or if you just want to let me know you're here but don't really have anything else to add, just leave me an emoji, preferably a winter or Christmas or holiday emoji, whatever your preference is. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.